Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jerry Harmon alongside Wally Harmon. Things look a little bit different today as we are honoring our veterans. So, Wally will be joining us as soon as those festivities are over. But in the meantime, enjoy some Armed Forces music and the pregame warm ups. And then we'll go live to the field for honoring our veterans and then play ball.
football proudly recognizes and honors the brave men and women who have served and currently serve in our armed forces. To all active duty service members, veterans, and military families, we extend our deepest gratitude. Thank you for your sacrifice and thank you for your service.
Good job. They like it.
Tonight, each player will be honoring a veteran and walking out onto the field with them. Okay, who's Curtin? Number 21, Braden Curtin. Honoring family friend Harlan Holloway, who served in the United States Army for 3 years with the rank of sergeant. Number 14, Braden Rogers, honoring family friend Luis Sanchez, Luis, in the United States Army for 10 years as staff sergeant. Number 1, Tillman Brown, his uncle Grant Cornett from the United States Navy, serving 4.5 years as airman. Number 2, Jalem Hunter, honoring his father, Damian Hunter, who was in the United States Army for 16 years and is currently active duty in the rank of major. Number 3, Weston Lane, honoring family friend Chad Harlow, who serves in the United States Army for 4 years as captain. Number 4, Tate Ritchie, honoring Jack Howell from the United States Army, who served 21 years as Chief Warrant Officer 3. Okay, thank you. Number 5, Chance Garcia, honoring Jonathan Thomas Ortegon from the United States Marines, 6 years, Sergeant. Number 6, Luke Hawley, honoring our Sun City Ambassador, Kenneth Wuntzleben, from the Air Force for 20 years as Lieutenant Colonel. Number 7, Jack Kiki, honoring his grandfather, William Herman Kiki, from the United States Army, served for 2 years with the rank of sergeant. Number 8, Jaden Howell, honoring his father, Jeff Howell, served in the United States Army for 4 years active, 4 years inactive as first lieutenant. Number 9, Colton Crutchfield, honoring his grandfather, Donald R. Johnson, who's served in the United States Army for 2 years with the rank of sergeant. Number 10, Hagen Tate, honoring his cousin, Jason Klippel, from the Navy, who served 6 years, Petty Officer 2nd Class. Number 12, David Fluitt, honoring a family friend, Wallace Harmon, from the Army, who served 8 years as Private 1st Class. Number 13, Andrew Cornell, honoring family friend Craig May, who served in the United States Army for 5 years, rank of sergeant.
I think that's him, yeah.
Number 15, Landon Bullock, honoring his grandfather, Rodney Carpenter, who served in the United States Army for 4 years, rank of sergeant.
He's right in front of the boy.
Number 16, Hayden Grooms, honoring their family friend, John McDonald, who served in the Marine Corps for 12 years, rank of major. Number 17, Justin Soto, honoring James Floor from the U.S. Army, who served for 18 years under the rank of Staff Sergeant. Number 18, Ryan Castilleja, honoring his grandfather, Rodrigo Castilleja, who served in the United States Marine Corps for 3 years with the rank of corporal. Number 20, Ezekiel Hernandez, honoring his father, David Flegel, who served in the United States Army for 2 years active, 6 years inactive, with the rank of corporal. Number 22, Clayton King, who's honoring his uncle, Jason Allman, who served in the United States Army for 20 years as a Chief Warrant Officer 3. Number 23, Connor Young, honoring his father, Dana M. Young, who served in the Army for 30 years with the rank of colonel. Number 24, Cooper Thomas, honoring his father, David M. Thomas, who served in the Marine Corps in the United States Army for 21 years, 8 years in the Marine Corps, 13 years in the Army, as a sergeant in the Marine Corps and a sergeant first class in the Army. Coach Chad Payne is honoring his son, Cy Payne, who is a United States Marine for 5 years and is the rank of captain. And his daughter-in-law, Brittany Payne, who is United States Navy, 2018 to present, and is a lieutenant. At this time, we'd like to ask all those other veterans that may be in our crowd to please stand and be recognized. And now for your Georgetown Eagles. Batting first and playing second, number 23, Connor Young. Batting second, playing right field, number 4, Tate Ritchie. Batting third and playing third, number 16, Hayden Brooms. Batting fourth, playing first base, number 12, David Blewett. Batting fifth and playing left field, number 24, Cooper Thomas. Batting sixth and catching, number 14, Braden Rogers. Batting seventh, designated hitter, number 9, Colton Crutchfield. Batting eighth, playing shortstop, number 7, Jack Kiki. Batting ninth, playing center field, number 6, Luke Holly. And pitching for the Eagles, number 21, Braden Curtin. At this time, if you would please stand and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Good evening, afternoon, evening, good morning, good night. It's all busy. What a day here live at Georgetown's Eagle Field as we go get ready for action here against the Round Rock Dragons. And a fun run of events here on Military Appreciation Day. Just a wonderful group of men to get to meet and commingle with down at lunch that was held for us by the Georgetown Eagle baseball team and the Booster Club. And a great opportunity to meet other veterans and soldiers still serving in today's United States military, and we appreciate it. And what an opportunity just to be a part of this each and every year and call this game as we're here at Georgetown High School. We get ready to go to the bottom of the first. And the starting lineup, try to go over it quickly for the Round Rock Dragons. They come out of 6A, Region 4, District 25. They sit at 23-1 on the season, 10-2 in district on a 6-game winning streak. As they come in here today, they will go this way in the starting lineup. Leading it off at shortstop, number 1, Hudson DePriest. Batting second, the catcher, number 12, Quinn Bartholet. Make sure I got that right. Quinn Bartholet. Batting third at third base, number 23, Luke Broadus. Batting fourth in center field, number 5, Cade Goddard. Batting sixth at first base, or fifth at first base, number 10, Isaac Rodriguez. Batting sixth in left field, number 8, Jack Oppel. Batting seventh in second base, number 13, J.P. Casman. Batting eighth, the pitcher and designated hitter, number 26, Luke Rodriguez. And batting ninth, Jace Kivett, the right fielder, wearing number 9. So it'll be Hudson DePriest, the shortstop, to lead off here for the Dragons against the right-handed junior, Braden Curtin, on the mound for your Georgetown Eagles. Curtin will work out of the windup. And the first pitch of the game, we're underway, is low for ball 1. Defensively for the Eagles, Cooper Thomas in left field, Luke Holly in center, Tate Ritchie in right field to start the ball game. From the windup, the 1-0 pitch. Ground ball down the third baseline. Foul for strike 1. 1-1 to count now. To Hudson DePriest leading it off here for the Dragons in the top of the first. On the infield for the Eagles, Hayden Grooms at third base. Jack Kiki at short. Connor Young at second base. David Fluid at first base. Behind the plate is Braden Rogers, and on the mound, the junior right-hander, Braden Curtin. The 1-1 pitch. Low and outside for ball 2. 2-1 to count. And a big changeup in the lineup today. A little shuffle in the lineup. Talking to Coach Chad Payne, the pitching coach for Georgetown. Just shaking things up, trying to get some new life into this offensive lineup after back-to-back district losses to Weiss in one-run games on Tuesday and last night here at Eagle Field. And so trying to right the ship and get things going. The 2-1 pitch to DePriest, chopped down the third baseline into foul territory, and the count evens up now. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the Dragon shortstop. DePriest will take his time, step back in from the right side. As Braden Curtin looks in and gets the sign from Braden Rogers. The 2-2 pitch. Break-in pitch just misses for ball 3. And now a full count to the leadoff man, Hudson DePriest. Hudson DePriest, Quinn Bartholet, and Luke Broadus. Top 3 in the Dragon lineup due up here in the top of the first. Curtin gets the sign. From the windup, the payoff pitch. That one's in there, called strike 3. Caught DePriest looking for out number 1. And that'll bring up number 12, the catcher, Quinn Bartholet. Strikeout for Curtin, his first of the day. And we're of the hopes that everything is working online. Technical difficulties in the T-Mobile world today. And so a loss of communication for us, and we've got onto the school system. The first pitch to Bartholet misses low for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Bartholet, a right-handed hitter, 5'11", 165-pound junior. Steps back in for the right side, a 1-0 count. The 1-0 pitch from Curtin. Ground ball, pulled foul. There he is, Coach John Carter with the barehanded play. Dropped it on the transfer. Give him credit there. It's a 1-1 count now to Bartholet. With 1 out here in the top of the first. But we had a very kind district employee log into the district system to allow us to get on the Wi-Fi with the school district and get this game broadcast to you live here today at Eagle Field. And so hopefully T-Mobile will get things straightened out before too long. The 1-1 pitch to Bartholet. Stills high through the zone. 2-1 now the count to the catcher, Bartholet. Third baseman Broadus on deck with Goddard in the hole and center fielder for the Dragons here in the top of the first. In this non-district affair, a lot of baseball being played today around the area. The 2-1 pitch. That one's in there for a called strike 2. 2-2 now the count to Bartholet. Other action from District 23 teams. 5A District 23 with the Eagles. Pflugerville on the road at Del Valley. Glenn is playing at Elgin today. The 2-2 pitch. Ground ball hit out to short. Kiki to his right. The backhand throws on the run across the diamond. but it is not going to be in time as that was a tough play there. That'll be an infield single for Bartlett to start off the hitting for the Dragons. A one-out single, have a base runner aboard. And that'll bring up Luke Broadus, the third baseman. A one out, a runner at first base for the Dragons. Curtin will switch over to the stretch now with the runner on first. Courtesy runner down at first base for the catcher, Bartlett. Looks to be number 16 running, and that's Josh Horvath. First pitch misses to Broadus for a ball. One ball, no strikes. To the first baseman, Luke Broadus. Curtin comes set in the stretch, the 1-0 pitch. That one's in there for a called strike, 1-1 to count. Other action from District 23. Cedar Park is over at Hendrickson today. Eastview on the road to take on the Belton Tigers. And Round Rock here at Georgetown. 5 of the 7 teams in District 23 playing Saturday baseball in preparation for the playoffs. Base hit into center field. Holly up with it off of a bounce and throws it in. So that'll be runners at first and second base on back-to-back base hits by the Dragons. As Broadus sends that into center field. And that'll bring up Cade Goddard. The center field. Steps in from the right side. Goddard, 6 foot, 165-pound senior. Steps in here in the cleanup spot. With the runners on first and second. One out in the top of the first. Curtin comes set. Look at second base. And he'll turn to second to throw as Horvath dives back in safely there. First pitch to Goddard from Curtin. It's low and outside for ball 1. Next week for these two teams, Round Rock on Tuesday, the 15th, will be at Stony Point. And on Thursday night, Stony Point will be at Round Rock and back in district play for the Dragons. For Georgetown, it's an off week in district, and they'll have a busy week. On Tuesday, we'll be on the road, 7 o'clock start, to face off at Dripping Springs against the Tigers. Curtin comes set in the stretch. Look at second base, the 1-0 pitch. Line drive, back up the middle. Kiki fields it, flips to Connor Young at second, on to first, in time! Throw home, they don't need it. It's a double play. The run doesn't count. They turn 2 in the middle, 6-4-3, and the Eagles erase the Dragons here in the top of the first. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. After half an inning, Round Rock 0, Georgetown coming up. Eagle baseball continues in a moment here on the SHN Sports Network. Back live here at Eagle Field. We go to the bottom of the first. The starting lineup for the Georgetown Eagles today. There is a shakeup in the lineup, and we'll go over it now as selected by head coach Jordan Vieira and Chad Payne. Leading it off at second base, number 23, Connor Young. Batting second in right field, number 4, Tate Ritchie. Batting third, the third baseman, number 16, Hayden Grooms. Batting in the cleanup spot, the first baseman, number 12, David Fluid. Batting fifth in left field, number 24, Cooper Thomas. Batting sixth behind the plate today, number 14, Braden Rogers. Batting seventh, the DH, number 9, Colton Crutchfield. Batting eighth, the shortstop, number 7, Jack Kiki. And batting ninth in center field, number 6, Luke Holly. So it'll be Young, Ritchie, and Grooms in the top third. Fluitt, Thomas, and Rogers in the middle third. Crutch, Kiki, and Holly in the bottom third. On the mound for the Round Rock Dragons, number 26, Luke Rodriguez, the 5'11", 215-pound junior, a right-hander. And he will start things off here in the bottom of the first against Connor Young, the second baseman. Connor Young, the sophomore, plays behind the plate on most nights. Today out at second base defensively. Rodriguez works out of the stretch. The first pitch to the left-handed hitting Young is inside and low for ball 1. Connor Young, sophomore, throws right, bats left. Leads off here with a 1-0 count. Slaps the 1-0 pitch foul back to the net. 1-1 the count now. A 1-1 the count. Rodriguez comes set in the stretch. The 1-1 pitch. Fly ball down the left field line. Oppel shades back, settles under it, makes the catch for out number 1. F7 of the book to retire Connor Young. And with 1 out in the inning, that'll bring up the right fielder, number 4, Tate Ritchie. Ritchie, the senior right fielder, bats right, throws right, steps in here in the bottom of the first. Rodriguez comes set in the stretch. The first pitch to Tate, swing and a miss, strike 1. 0-1 the count. With Tate Ritchie with Hayden Grooms on deck for Georgetown here in the bottom of the first. Rodriguez. The 0-1 pitch. Outside for ball 1. 1-1 the count now. Tate back in as Rodriguez comes set in the stretch. The 1-1 pitch. That one's in there for called strike 2. Just over the left field wall, you'll see the school buses and people in the stands over at Birkelback Field. It's 6A high school state soccer finals today. The 1-2 pitch to Ritchie. Fouled off down the first baseline, out of play. 1-2 remains the count. Ritchie back in for the right side. The 1-2 pitch. Sails high through the zone. 2-2 now the count. Rodriguez looks in. Comes set in the stretch. The 2-2 pitch. Ritchie will foul it off down the first baseline. Out of play. Stays alive in the at-bat. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out here in the bottom of the first. The Dragons, no runs on 2 hits, no errors in the top of the first. They left 1 runner on, an ending inning 6-4-3 double play. Got the Eagles out of trouble. The 2-2 pitch, outside, ball 3. And now Tate Ritchie's worked a full count here. And a good at-bat for Tate. Next pitch will be the 8th of the at-bat for Tate. Here in the bottom of the first inning at Eagle Field. Rodriguez comes set. The payoff pitch. Ritchie fouls it off. Down the first baseline, back out of play. We'll reset and try it again. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here in the bottom of the first inning. Round Rock Dragons and Georgetown Eagles in non-district battle here today. The payoff pitch. Rodriguez looked like he lost his footing there in the delivery. The curveball misses low and outside, and it's a 1-out base runner for Georgetown on the walk. First walk issued by Rodriguez, and that'll bring up the third baseman, number 16, Hayden Grooms. The senior throws right, bats right. Steps in here with 1 out and a runner at first base. Coach Jordan Vieira in the dugout, steps out, gives the signs. Coaching the base pass for the Eagles. Down at third base. The pitching coach, Chad Payne. Down the first base coach. Assistant coach David Durrell. The first pitch to Grooms. Grounded towards third. And Broadus was playing up, couldn't make the play. It's into left field. And now with one out, there's runners on first and second. An error there on Broadus. Allows Ritchie to move up to second. Grooms to first base on the E5. And that'll bring up the senior first baseman, number 12, David Fluitt. Throws left, bats left, steps in here. With runners on first and second and one out. Corners on the grass. The first pitch to Fluitt. Fluitt, line drive, center field. It's going to be down for a hit. Tate around third. He's being waved home. Misplayed by Goddard. That'll allow Grooms to move all the way to third base safely. And it's an RBI single by David Fluitt. Georgetown takes the early lead. 1-0. On the first hit of the day by Georgetown. So Grooms will advance to third base as Ritchie came around to score on the single by Fluitt. First hit of the ball game, right on the first pitch. Nice swing there by Fluitt as he drove it right over the leaping shortstop, DePriest. So give Fluitt the RBI. We're being attacked here in the booth. I'm going to have to take a quick time out. They're sending the police in on me. Good night. So a ball called on Luke Rodriguez will score Grooms from third base. And Coach John Carter will come out to visit with the field umpire. A good buddy, one of the parents, Goddard, in center field. His dad, Clay Goddard, a good friend of mine from the Austin Police Department, here in the stands. Got warning that we were looking for him, and so came up and chatted. And in that time frame, Luke Rodriguez called for a balk. So David Fluitt moves up to second base. Hayden Grooms brings in the second run of the ball game for Georgetown on the balk. Coach Carter finishes his conversation with the field umpire and will reset. With Cooper Thomas, the sophomore left fielder, throws right, bats right. Steps in here from the right side with one out and a man at second base. 2 runs on the board for Georgetown here in the bottom of the first. They have the lead 2-0. Fluitt leads off second base as Rodriguez comes set in the stretch. A look at second base. The first pitch to Thomas squares the bunt down the third baseline, and that's going to be a base hit. Cooper Thomas, there's no way you get him, and it's an error by the third baseman after the fact, and that'll score David Fluitt from second base. What a bunt there. It's a bunt single, an RBI. Well, it won't be an RBI. It'll be a bunt single for Cooper Thomas, and then the error on Broadus allows the run to score from third. No one covering first base on that beautiful bunt. And here comes Coach Carter out for a mound visit with the Round Rock Dragon infield. We'll take a quick time out. Eagle Baseball will continue in a moment here on the SHN Sports Network. Back out of the mound visit from Coach John Carter. Back to action we go as Braden Rogers steps in. Cooper Thomas in the head of Luke Rodriguez on the mound. The first pitch to Rogers hits him. So another one-out base runner as Braden Rogers will head down the first on the first hit by pitch by Luke Rodriguez. And here comes the courtesy runner. Looks like it'll be number 1, Tillman Brown. Coming in to run for the catcher, Braden Rogers. And, of course, he turns the opposite way. I believe it. We'll give it Tillman Brown on first base. Running for the catcher, Braden Rogers on the hit by pitch. In steps the DH, number 9, Colton Crutchfield. We'll call him Crutch. As Crutch steps in, the senior outfielder. Throws right, bats right. Steps in here with one out and runners on first and second. So Tillman Brown, the runner at first. Cooper Thomas on at second base. Rodriguez comes set. He'll throw to second. Thomas back in under the tag by the shortstop, DePriest. Thomas reaches on the bunt single. Advances to second on the throwing error by Broadus with no one covering the bag that Thomas would have already beat. And that allowed the run from third to score in Fluid for the third run of the ball game. So 2 errors in the inning for the Dragons. The throw to second again, and Cooper Thomas takes it off the leg. Back standing on the bag. One thing Cooper Thomas does is draws the attention of the pitcher with his speed down at second base. Crutch back in from the right side, waits to see his first pitch from Rodriguez. The first pitch to Crutch. Stays high through the zone for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Crutchfield hitting in the 7th slot today for Georgetown. Behind him, Jack Kiki waits on deck with one out here in the bottom of the first. 3 runs across on 2 hits and 2 errors so far in the inning. The 1-0 pitch to Crutchfield. Thomas off and running, and a foul ball off the mask of the catcher, Rodriguez. Isaac Rodriguez, the catcher. He'll get a breather. Coach John Carter will walk out, grab the ball, and the home plate umpire will walk it out to the pitcher, Luke Rodriguez, to give Isaac a chance to reset. The hit and run on there. So 1-1 the count to Crutch. 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Runners on first and second. And all this coming with the first out of the ball game. Connor Young flew out on a shot to left field. A visit between the battery, the Rodriguez connection. Luke on the mound, Isaac behind the plate. Activity down in the first base bullpen for the Round Rock Dragons. Here in the bottom of the first. And now the timeout is over between the catcher and pitcher. Crutch back in for the right side. Ready to go as Luke Rodriguez now comes set in the stretch. A look at second base. Turn and throw. The second baseman back behind. Cooper Thomas back in easily as Casman was covering the bag there. Now Rodriguez back on the mound. Comes set in the stretch. The 1-1 pitch. Crutchfield, foul tip into the glove of the catcher for strike 2. 1-2 the count. Number 9, Colton Crutchfield, stands in. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners on first and second. 3 runs across here in the bottom of the first for Georgetown. Luke Rodriguez comes set. The 1-2 pitch. Up over the head. The steal down to third. Cooper Thomas easily in with the stolen bag. Tillman Brown still second. And so a 2-2 count to Crutchfield. And now runners in scoring position at second and third. On the double steal. Now the infield up on the grass for the Dragons. Rodriguez comes set. The 2-2 pitch. Outside, ball 3. So now Colton Crutchfield's drawn a full count here with 1 out in the bottom of the first. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runners on second and third. Cooper Thomas off third. Tillman Brown off second base for Georgetown. The payoff pitch. Outside corner, called strike 3. Crutchfield down on strikes for out number 2. First strikeout of the ballgame for Luke Rodriguez, and that'll bring up the number 8 hitter, the shortstop. Number 7, Jack Kiki. Kiki will step in, the junior shortstop. Throws right, bats right. Steps in here in the number 8 slot in the lineup today. First pitch to Kiki. Swinging, fly ball down the right field line. Give it over, makes the catch. And that'll retire the Eagles here in the bottom of the first. F9 of the book retire Kiki and Georgetown. But not before Georgetown picks up 3 runs on 2 hits and 2 Dragon errors. 2 runners left on base. After 1 complete, Georgetown 3, Round Rock 0. Eagle baseball continues in a moment. Back here at Eagle Field on Military Appreciation Day. That's enjoying all the music that we bring you today, all affiliated either with our military in some way, shape, or form, or the fight song for Georgetown every now and then when the Georgetown Eagles continue to play ball here at Eagle Field. But tonight we talk about Casino Night. The 16 Mile Angels bring you Casino Night tonight at the Berry Creek Country Club, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. On the screen, a couple of QR codes there. Those will pop up during the game several times. Be ready. Take a shot of that. Get a ticket. Come out. A fun night, a Casino Night at Berry Creek Country Club, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. with the 16 Mile Angels. Brayton Curtin back to action. Faces off against the 5, 6, and 7 hitters in the Dragon lineup, Rodriguez, Opel, and Cosman. First pitch to Rodriguez, the first baseman. Correction, he is not the first baseman. I got that wrong. Bartlett was catching. Rodriguez is the first baseman. He takes it for a called strike. The 0-1 pitch to Rodriguez. Misses low and away for ball 1. 1-1 to count. In the top of the first, Curtin gave up 2 hits, struck out 1, but left a man stranded on base after an inning-ending 6-4-3 double play. Only threw 16 pitches in the top of the first. The 1-1 pitch here to Rodriguez. Misses low for ball 2. 2-1. So Isaac Rodriguez said he was the catcher. He is the first baseman. I apologize for the Dragons as he stands in here in the 5 slot to lead it off for the Dragons in the top of the second. The 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. 2-2 the count now. The first baseman Rodriguez at bat. The left fielder Opel. The second baseman Cosman due up here for the Dragons in the top of the second. Curtin from the windup. The 2-2 pitch. Ground ball to third, high hopper. Grooms will fire across the diamond in time. Great throw there by Hayden Grooms to retire Rodriguez. 5-3 on the putout for out number 1. And that'll bring up the left fielder, number 8. That's Jack Opel, the 6'2", 160-pound junior. Steps in from the left side. 1 out, the base is empty here in the top of the second. The wind today blowing right to left from right field to left field. The flags whipping around. The first pitch, Opel fouls it off down the third baseline, out of play. 0-1 to count. Opel, the left fielder, steps back in, back of the box. Ready to go as Curtin looks in and gets a sign from his catcher today, Braden Rogers. From the windup, the 0-1 pitch. Flared out into shallow center field, and that'll fall for a base hit. So the third hit of the ball game for the Dragons has a man aboard with 1 out here in the top of the second. And that'll bring up J.P. Casman, number 13, the 5'7", 147-pound junior. Second baseman. He'll step in from the right side. With 1 out, a runner at first. Opel will lead off. David Fluitt will hold him on there. Good-sized lead for Opel as Curtin works from the stretch now with the base runner. First base side of the rubber. Curtin will come set. Throw to first base. Opple dives back in safely. Cosman up at the plate. Luke Rodriguez, the pitcher, on deck for the Dragons here in the top of the second inning. Georgetown put up 3 in the bottom of the first. Leads it 3-0. Curtin comes set. Another throw to first. Opple dives back in under the tag safely. Curtin gets ready. The first pitch, Opple off and running. The throw down from Rogers sets it on top of the bag, but the tag not in time as the ball pops out of the glove of Jack Kiki. So a stolen base for Opple. Has a man in scoring position for the Dragons here with 1 out in the top of the second. 1-0 the count to J.P. Casman with Luke Rodriguez on deck for the Dragons. Turn towards second, no throw. So we'll reset here. 1 ball, no strikes to Casman, the second baseman. Back in from the right side. Opple, the 1-out single, stolen base, sits at second base. Kiki keeps him close. The 1-0 pitch outside for ball 2, 2-0 the count. Luke Rodriguez waiting on deck for the Dragons. Tuesday night on the road, we'll take on the Dripping Springs Tigers in Dripping Springs, 7 p.m. Come out and join us. Support Eagle Baseball. If you can't be there, it'll be live here on the SHN Sports Network. The 2-0 pitch, fly ball back out of play. 2-1 now the count to Casman. But Tuesday night on the road at Dripping Springs, and then Thursday night, we'll be back home at Eagle Field to take on the Cedar Ridge Raiders. 7 p.m. start. And then Saturday, back on the road, we'll head over to Lake Travis to take on the Cavaliers at 1 p.m. The 2-1 pitch. Low and outside, ball 3. 3-1 the count now. Coach's show will move to Wednesday night next week at Camp Brightside. Come join us. We talk to the freshmen and JV players of the week, a couple of varsity players. Coach Chad Payne this week on the Coach's show. 3-1 pitch, flared out into left field. Cooper Thomas charges in, makes the catch. For out number 2, F7 in the book to retire Casman. And with 2 outs and a runner at second, in steps Luke Rodriguez. There's Jared Frimmel getting the crowd going. Brings out the baseballs to the home plate umpire. 2 outs here in the top of the second. A runner on second base. The 1-out base hit by Opple. Stole second base. Leads off there is Jack Kiki. The shortstop keeps him close. Luke Rodriguez, 5'11", 215-pound junior. Throws right, bats right, steps in. First pitch from Curtin. Swing and a miss on the breaking pitch. 0-1 the count. Pretty pitch there from Curtin. Curtin comes set in the stretch, the 0-1 pitch. Breaking pitch just misses for ball 1. 1-1 the count. 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 outs. Runner at second base here in the top of the second. Georgetown put up 3 in the bottom of the first. Leads it 3-0. Curtin comes set in the stretch. Take a peek at second base. The 1-1 pitch. Outside and low for ball 2. 2-1 the count. Rodriguez, the number 8 hitter in the Dragon lineup. Kivett on deck. Should Rodriguez extend the inning? The 2-1 pitch. Ground ball back behind the plate. He fouls it off. 2-2 the count now. To Luke Rodriguez. If you want to hang out for more baseball, Stay around after the varsity plays. The JV junior varsity Eagles will take on the Round Rock Dragons. The 2-2 pitch. Ground ball back up the middle. Kiki to his left. It's going to be through for a base hit. Holly up with it. He'll throw it into second base. And Luke Rodriguez has an RBI single here in the top of the second. Dragons pick up their first run on the fourth hit of the ball game. So Rodriguez drives in Oppel from second base
Now batting number 9, Jace Kibet.
for the first run of the ball game. Should be a courtesy runner down at first base. Or the pitcher. May not be. Luke Rodriguez may have stayed. Rodriguez stays in as Kivett steps in, the right fielder. Bats from the left side. Chase Kivett, the 5'10", 165-pound junior. Fouls off the first pitch back to the screen. 0-1 the count to the number 9 hitter, Chase Kivett. Bats ninth, wears 9, plays position 9. Out in right field for the Dragons today. No balls and 1 strike with the 2 outs. Rodriguez off first, the 0-1 pitch. In there. Not in there. Not sure where it was. 1-1 the count to Kivett. Curtin from the stretch with the runner on first. Comes set. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 1-2 the count. Give it back in for the left side. Curtin comes set. Runner up. 1-2 pitch. Line drive out to second. Connor Young on a hop. Fires the first in time. And the Dragons are retired here in the top of the second. But not before. Round Rock picks up 1 run on 2 hits. No errors and 1 runner left on base. After an inning and a half, Round Rock 1. Georgetown 3. Eagle baseball continues in a moment here on Military Appreciation Day live on the SHN Sports Network. Back here live, we go to the bottom of the second inning here at Eagle Field at Georgetown High School. Georgetown leads it 3-1 over the Round Rock Dragons. The Eagles bring up the 9-1-2 hitters here at the bottom of the second. Luke Holly, Connor Young, and Tate Ritchie. Luke Holly will step in. He's the senior center fielder. Throws right, bats right as he leads off here in the bottom of the second. In the 9th slot today for Georgetown. Rodriguez on the mound. The first pitch to Holly. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. 0-1 to count. In the first inning, Rodriguez allowed 3 runs on 2 hits. Struck out 1, walked 1, hit 1. 2 errors on the Dragons. The 0-1 pitch. Holly slaps it down the right field line. Kivett on the run. He'll make the catch right near the right field line for out number 1. L9 in the book to retire Luke Holly. And with one out, that gets us back to the top of the lineup. Number 23, Connor Young, the second baseman. Steps in, 0 for 1 in the ball game. Flew out to left field to open up the bottom of the first. Steps in here, Coach John Carter. Signals to his right fielder, Kivett. Moves him over to his right towards center field a few steps. First pitch to Connor Young. Ground ball hit towards first, backhanded by Rodriguez. He'll take it, 3 unassisted to retire Connor Young for out number 2. And with 2 outs and the base is empty, in steps the right fielder, number 4, Tate Ritchie. Tate 0 for 0 in the ball game. Walked in the first, scored the first run of the ball game on a beautiful at bat. 9-pitch at bat, drew the walk, and ended up coming around to score the first run of the inning for Georgetown. Steps in here from the right side with 2 outs and the base is empty. As Luke Rodriguez comes set in the stretch, the first pitch to Tate. High for ball 1. 23 pitches thrown in the first inning for Luke Rodriguez as he works here in the bottom of the second for the Dragons. The 1-0 pitch. High through the zone. Ball 2. Breaking pitch. Stayed up there. And the 2-0 count out to Tate Ritchie. With 2 outs, the base is empty. Here in the bottom of the second. The 2-0 pitch. Tate takes it for a called strike on the inside part of the plate. 2-1 to count. The 2-1 pitch from Rodriguez. Ritchie takes it for a called strike 2. That one catches the outside corner, and now a 2 count, 2-ball, 2-strike count to Tate Ritchie. Here in the bottom of the second, 2 outs in the inning, no runners on. Rodriguez comes set, the 2-2 pitch. Ground ball hit out towards short. DePriest has to charge, throws on the run in time. We record the out of Ritchie and the Eagles in order here in the bottom of the second. 6-3 on the putout, and the Eagles go in order. And after 2 innings, 1 run, 4 hits, 2 errors for the Dragons, 3 runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Georgetown Eagles. Georgetown baseball continues here on Military Appreciation Day in just a moment. King's Pest Control, serving Williamson County's pest control needs for over 40 years, family and locally owned. Since 1982, safe and reliable pest control services for your home or business. Give them a call, 512-930-PEST, 512-930-7378, or visit them at www.kingspest.com. Proud supporters of First Responder Broadcasting and Georgetown Eagle Baseball. We go to the top of the third inning, 3-1. Georgetown leads it. And the Dragons will bring up the top of the lineup, the 1, 2, and 3 hitters, DePriest, Barthollet, and Broadus. DePriest, 0 for 1 in the ballgame, struck out looking back in the first inning. Steps in for the right side to lead it off against Braden Curtin on for his third inning of work. Foul tip, strike 1 into the glove of Braden Rogers. In the second inning, Braden allowed 1 run on 2 hits. No errors, 1 runner left on. .21 pitches thrown in the inning. The 0-1 pitch slashed out past second base into right field. for a leadoff base hit. 5th hit of the ball game for the Dragons as DePriest puts it into right field for a leadoff single. And that'll bring up number 12, Quinn Bartlett, the catcher. As he gets a sign from Coach Carter down the third base line, looks at his play log and will put it back in his pocket. He'll step in from the right side, 1-for-1 in the ball game. Singled with 1 out in the first inning. And his courtesy runner was left stranded at third base on the inning-ending double play. First pitch misses for ball 1. One and 0 the count to Bartlett with DePriest at first base being held on by Fluid. Curtin comes set, a throw to first. DePriest dives back in safely. Bartlett back in for the right side. Curtin comes set. Throw to first base. Almost caught DePriest leading there, but he gets back in safely. Under the tag of Fluid. Good size lead here from DePriest. Curtin comes set. Throw to first. Fluid the slap tag right at the hand at the bag. They call him safe. DePriest taking a bigger chance each time. Curtin comes set. Throw to first. That time they got him. Picked him off. Keep playing around, and he got taken off the base path. First out of the inning as DePriest kept scooting out as every time he got closer to being tagged out, he kept moving another half step out. And that time, Brayton Curtin picked him off. 1-3 on the pickoff to erase the opening base hit. And with 1 out in the inning, now Curtin could go back to the windup to focus on Bartlett, the catcher. 1 ball, no strike count. That went up and in for ball 2. 2-0 the count. Two balls, no strikes, 1 out here in the top of the third. Leadoff base hit for DePriest, erased on the pickoff by Brayton Curtin. 2-0 pitch, just misses high for ball 3. 3-0 the count now to the catcher, Quinn Bartlett. On deck is Cade Goddard. From the windup, the 3-0 pitch. Outside corner, called, strike 1. Nice pitch there by BK. And now a 3-ball, 1 strike count. From the windup, the 3-1 pitch. Fly ball on the infield. Curtin sees it. And now Grooms will call him off and make the catch by the G logo down the third baseline for out number 2. P5 in the book to retire Bartlett for the second out. And with 2 outs in the inning and the base is empty, it'll bring up Luke Broaddus. I had Goddard coming up. I apologize. It's Luke Broaddus, the third baseman. He is 1-for-1 in the ball game. He singled back in the first inning, but was part of the 6-4-3 double play as he got taken out at second base. The first pitch here, Broaddus sees it up and in for ball 1. So a big out on the first out of this inning after DePriest opened it up with a base hit to right field and then kept toying around at first base and got picked off by Brayton Curtin. The 1-0 pitch to Broaddus. Ground ball to third, fielded by Grooms. It's in fair territory. By the home plate umpire, signaled fair. And Grooms had to. Only chance he had was to backhand it back behind the base. They're going to signal it for a base hit. 6th hit of the ball game. So Broaddus down at first base with 2 outs. Cade Goddard will step in here. He's 0-for-1 in the ball game. First pitch swinging and miss. Strike 1, 0-1 to count. Broaddus got a huge second lead Rogers almost threw down behind him at first base. And led off, and now Broadus will lead off. Held on by Fluid. The 0-1 pitch to Goddard. Breaking pitch, pop fly, right side of the infield. Connor Young, the right fielder, settles under it and makes the catch about 5 feet back on the grass for out number 3. Connor Young makes the catch, P4 in the book to retire Goddard and the Dragons. Here in the top of the third, no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. After 2.5, Georgetown leads it 3-1 over the Round Rock Dragons. Military Appreciation Day here at Eagle Field will continue in just a moment. Back here at Eagle Field, we go to the bottom of the third. A new pitcher for the Dragons. The Round Rock Dragons call to the bullpen. They'll bring on the 6'1", 167-pound junior right-hander, number 4, Brandon Smith. He'll come on in relief here in the top of our bottom of the third inning. Close the book on the starter, Luke Rodriguez. He threw 2 innings, 31 pitches, gave up 3 hits, or gave up 3 runs, 2 hits, 1 strikeout, 1 walk, 1 hit by pitch, and 1 balk. And in steps the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for Georgetown here in the bottom of the third. Grooms, Fluid, and Thomas. Smith throws from the stretch. The first pitch to Grooms. Breaking pitch, misses for ball 1. Grooms 0 for 1 in the ball game. Reached on an error back in the first inning. Came around to score on the balk by Rodriguez. The 1-0 pitch from Smith. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. 1-1 the count. Grooms steps back in from the right side. Leading off the bottom of the third here for Georgetown. Smith from the stretch. The 1-1 pitch. Grooms lets it go. Low and outside for ball 2. 2-1 the count to the third baseman, Hayden Grooms. David Fluid, the first baseman on deck. Cooper Thomas, the left fielder. In the hole here for Georgetown at the bottom of the third. The 2-1 pitch to Grooms. Breaking pitch. Misses the zone for ball 3. 3-1. Luke Rodriguez will stay in the ball game as the designated hitter, even though he comes off the mound defensively. 3-1 pitch, ground ball to third. It's off the glove of Broadus into left field. Grooms will round first, head back to first base. A base hit as Broadus unable to get to that ball to his left. Nicks it into left field for the base hit. Third hit of the ball game for Georgetown. That'll bring up David Fluid. He's 1 for 1 in the ball game. As he drove in Richie back in the first inning. Takes the first pitch for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Grooms leads off first base. He'll be held on there by Luke Rodriguez. Fluid the lefty, back in, ready to go. The 1-0 pitch from Smith. Slash foul down the third baseline, out of play. 1-1 to count now to David Fluid. the senior first baseman. RBI single in the first, scored on the air by Broadus. The 1-1 pitch to Fluid. Grooms off and running, fly ball down the third baseline. Broadus will let it go. The left fielder, Oppel, comes running in and makes the catch in foul territory. For out number 1, as Grooms heads back to first base. F7 in the book to retire Fluid for the first out. That'll bring up Cooper Thomas. 1 for 1 in the ball game. A beautiful bunt single back in the first inning. Advanced to second on the error by Broadus on the throw across the diamond. Stole third base, was left stranded there in the inning. Broadus now playing the edge of the grass at third base with Cooper Thomas up. Smith comes set. The first pitch to Coop. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. 0-1 to count to the sophomore left fielder, Cooper Thomas. The 0-1 pitch to Coop. Foul tip into the glove of Bartholet for strike 2. 0-2 the count. Grooms leads off first. The 0-2 pitch. Foul tip into the glove of Bartholet for strike 3. First strikeout for Bartholet. Second strikeout of Eagle hitters today. 2 outs in the inning now, and that'll bring up Brayden Rogers. Brayden was hit by a pitch back in the first inning. He'll stand in there, 0 for 0 in the ball game. 2 outs and a runner at first in Hayden Grooms. First pitch to Rogers. Ground ball yanked down the third baseline. Broadus fields it in fair territory to throw across the diamond in time. And the Eagles are retired here in the bottom of the third. 5-3 on the putout of Brayden Rogers for the third out. No runs on 1 hit. No errors and 1 runner left on base. After 3 complete, Georgetown leads it 3-1 over Round Rock. Eagle baseball will continue here in just a moment on the SHN Sports Network. Back here live, Eagle Field, we go to the top of the 4th inning. Braden Curtin on for his 4th inning of work. In 3 innings, he's allowed 1 run on 6 hits, 1 strikeout. They've stranded 3 runners, no errors defensively for Georgetown. Curtin has thrown 48 pitches through 3 innings as he goes to work here in the top of the 4th inning against the 5, 6, and 7 hitters, Isaac Rodriguez, Oppel, and Cosman. Due up. Isaac Rodriguez, the first baseman, steps in 0 for 1 in the ball game. Grounded out their Grooms back in the 2nd inning as he leads things off here in the top of the 4th for the Dragons. From the windup, the first pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-1 the count to Isaac Rodriguez, the first baseman. The 0-1 pitch. On the outside corner, we're called strike 2. Oh, 2 now the count to Isaac Rodriguez. Curtin takes the deep breath from the windup. The 0-2 pitch. Line drive foul down the first baseline, out of play. So Isaac Rodriguez stays alive in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. We'll reset and do it again as he leads off here in the top of the 4th for the Round Rock Dragons. Curtin looks in and gets the sign. The 0-2 pitch. Pop fly off to the right side, back out of play. We'll reset and do it again with an 0 balls, 2 strike count. Leading off here in the top of the 4th, the first baseman, Isaac Rodriguez. The 0-2 pitch. Ground ball back up the middle. Kiki to his left, can't get to it. It's into center field for a leadoff single. It's a good piece of hitting there by Rodriguez to battle through the 0-2 count and drive it into center field.
Now batting number 8, Jack.
For a base hit. 7th base hit of the ball game for the Dragons. Jack Oppel will step in. He's 1 for 1 in the ball game. Singled, stole second, and scored a run back in the 2nd inning as he steps in here with no outs and a runner at first. Rodriguez will lead off. First base, Fluid will hold him on. Curtin from the stretch. The first pitch, Oppel squares the bunt, bunts it foul back to the screen. 0-1 the count. Aiden Grooms charge again from third base. A little hustle there out of Coach Vieira. The third base dugout to get the foul ball. Like it. Got to give him some credit when credit's due. We'll reset here. Jack Oppel back in for the left side. The 0-1 count. Curtin comes set. Grooms at third charges. The bunt. One and 1 to count. I thought Oppel didn't pull his bat back in time. Umpire gives him the benefit of the doubt. It's a 1 ball, 1 strike count now with no outs and a runner at first here in the top of the 4th. Curtin gets the sign and comes set in the stretch. Oppel squares. The 1-1 pitch. Misses for ball 2. Rogers throws that down behind Rodriguez at first. He dives back in safely there. 2 balls and 1 strike to Oppel. Coach John Carter will take a timeout to visit with his batter. Down the third baseline. Round Rock Dragons wearing a camouflage hat today here on Military Appreciation Day. Digital camo with gray and white. Now Jack Oppel will step back in with a 2 ball, 1 strike count. No outs here in the top of the 4th. A leadoff single by Isaac Rodriguez. The Dragon hats with the double R logo in maroon. Here on this Military Appreciation Day at Eagle Field. Curtin comes set. Throw over to first base. Rodriguez dives back safely. Huge shout out and thanks to all the military veterans, service members, active duty, for all they do to make this world a better place and keep us safe here at home in this beautiful country. Square to bunt, the 2-1. He bunts it out in front of the mound. Rogers fields it. He'll throw down to second in time, on to first, and almost got Oppel on a double play. But a heads-up play there by the junior catcher, Braden Rogers. He snags it, throws out Rodriguez at second base, so the sac bunt fails to work here. And with 1 out, a base runner at first on the fielder's choice. That'll go 1-6 on the putout at second base for the first out. Nice play there by Braden Rogers. And Kiki flipped to first. Oppel kind of pulled up, cruising into first, not expecting the throw, and almost got doubled off. But now 1 out and a runner at first, and in steps second baseman Cosman. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. He squares the bunt. Grooms charges in. He pulls it back. Ground ball over Grooms, and it charged in. It's into left field for the base hit. Oppel around second. He heads to third. They'll throw down to second base, and they'll not get him. Looked like the foot popped off the bag on the tag by Connor Young. And so now runners on second and third with one out.
Up to bat, number 26.
Opple all the way around to third base. On that base hit by Cosman. Cosman will cruise into second. They'll give it a double for Cosman on that chop base hit that went over the head of Grooms, who charged and then tried to backtrack. And so now runners on second and third with one out. In steps Luke Rodriguez, first pitch. They appeal out to the field umpire. Luke Rodriguez thought he checked his swing. Coach Carter not happy with it. But 0-1 to count. Luke Rodriguez, 1 for 1 of the ball game. An RBI single in the second, was left stranded. Steps in here with an 0-1 count, 1 out. Runners on second and third. The 0-1 pitch in there for called strike 2. 0-2 the count now. Right fielder Kivett stands on deck for the Dragons. Here in the top of the fourth, Dragons threatening again. Curtin comes set in the stretch. The 0-2 pitch. Breaking pitch, ground ball towards third. Grooms charges, he'll throw home. Rogers will run Opple back to third base. And he'll tag Opple out. And that will allow Luke Rodriguez to cruise into second base as Cosman went into third base. So Opple is run down.
Up to bat, number 9.
That one will go 5-2 on the put out of Opple for out number 2. Cosman moves up to third. Rodriguez advances all the way to second on that fielder's choice. And now 2 outs in the inning, and in steps Kivett, the right fielder, who's 0 for 1 of the ball game. So a nice play defensively there. Hayden Grooms to throw home, and Rogers to running back, tag out Opple for the second out. First pitch in there for a called strike, 0-1 the count. To the right fielder, Jace Kivett. Give it back in for the left side. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 0-2, now the count. Two outs in the inning, an 0-2 count to Kivett. Runners on second and third. Casman leads off third. Luke Rodriguez off second. The 0-2 pitch to Kivett from Brayton Curtin. Skips in for ball 1, 1-2 the count. One ball, 2 strikes the count. Give it ready to go. Curtin gets the sign, comes set in the stretch. The 1-2 pitch. Fly ball hit out into left field. Cooper Thomas to his left. He'll settle under it, make the catch. And the Dragons go down here in the top of the fourth. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. After 3.5, Georgetown 3, Round Rock 1. Military Appreciation Day live here at Eagle Field. Stay with us. Eagle Baseball returns in a moment. back here at Eagle Field. We go to the bottom of the fourth. The Eagles will bring up the 7, 8, 9 hitters. Crutch, Kiki, and Holly. Crutch will step in, 0 for 1 in the ball game. Georgetown leads it 3-1. As Braden Curtin's done a great job of scattering 8 hits through 4 innings. The first pitch sails high for ball 1. Colton Crutchfield, the DH, here in today's ball game for Georgetown. Brandon Smith on for his second inning of work. In his first inning of work, allowed 1 hit, struck out 1. Left 1 stranded through 12 pitches. The 1-0 pitch to Crutch, swing and a miss, strike 1. 1-1 to count now. To the senior Colton Crutchfield. Throws right, bats right, steps back in for the right side. Brandon Smith from the stretch. The 1-1 pitch. Misses outside for ball 2. 2-1 to count. Smith came on in the bottom of the third inning in relief of Luke Rodriguez. Works here in the fourth inning, his second inning of work for the Dragons. The 2-1 pitch to Crutch. Big breaker stays high for ball 3. 3-1 to count. Activity continues down in the first base bullpen for the Dragons. There's Brandon Smith, the junior right-hander. Throws here in the bottom of the fourth. The 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. A full count now. The Colton Crutchfield leading off the bottom of the fourth here for the Georgetown Eagles. Brandon Smith comes set. Crutchfield ready. The payoff pitch. Called strike 3. Crutchfield down for strikeout number 2 from Brandon Smith. First down of the inning here. With 1 out, that'll bring up the shortstop, Jack Kiki. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Jack flew out to right field back in the first inning. Kiki will step in here from the right side. Ready to go. Smith, the first pitch to Jack. Squares the bunt, pulls it back and takes it for ball 1. 1-0 the count to the junior shortstop, Jack Kiki. The 1-0 pitch, fly ball. The right side of the infield. A battle for it, and it's going to fall. And it will be foul, so Kiki will stay alive. It's back and forth. The catcher, Bartlett, went up into the sun, looking straight up where that ball was coming back down. So he goes for a strike. And the count evens out at 1 ball and 1 strike to Jack Kiki. Here in the bottom of the fourth. Home plate, the catcher, Bartlett. Like they're on the scavenger hunt for something down in the turf. And now we'll get set to go back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here in the bottom of the fourth. 1 out. The base is empty for Georgetown. Kiki back in. Brandon Smith, the 1-1 pitch. Up and in. Almost hit him. 2-1 the count. On deck, Luke Holly, the center fielder. The 2-1 pitch to Kiki. Foul tip into the glove of Bartlett for strike 2. 2-2 the count now to the junior shortstop. The 2-2 pitch stays high through the zone for ball 3. 3-2 now. One out here in the bottom of the fourth. Georgetown leads it 3-1. The payoff pitch to Jack Kiki. Ground ball slapped foul down the third baseline. Well, we'll reset. Do it again. The full count. 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. Georgetown put up 3 runs in the bottom of the first. Round Rock responded with 1 in the top of the second. And that's where we sit here with 1 out in the bottom of the fourth. The payoff pitch to Kiki. Chases it down in the dirt, but he gets away. And that'll be a strikeout for Brandon Smith. But Jack Kiki will reach base on the drop third strike. So a 1-out base runner. Third strikeout for Smith. But now Luke Holly will step in. He's 0 for 1. Luke sent a shot down the right field line, but was played well by the right fielder, Kivett, who made the catch of the line drive on the line down the first baseline. Holly steps in. The first pitch squares the bunt. It's high over the catcher's head, off the net. Kiki will slide into second on the wild pitch. That ball shot back out of the net to Bartholet's glove, and he threw down. But Kiki slid in safely. First wild pitch by Brandon Smith, but now a runner in scoring position for the Eagles. 1-0 the count to Holly. 1 out, a runner at second base. The corner's on the grass. Holly squares the bunt. Bunts at the third baseline. It's going to be another bunt single for Luke Holly. The speed is there. Broadus tries to fake the throw, but Kiki stays close to the bag. And runners on the corners. Another beautiful bunt single for Luke Holly, using that speed and lays down the bunt. Second hit allowed by Smith, fourth of the ball game for Georgetown. And now runners on the corners with 1 out. And that'll bring up Connor Young. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. Flew out to left in the first. Grounded out to first base in the second. Steps in here with runners on the corners. You expect Holly might be off and running. Get out of the double play. There's Luke running. They're going to throw back to third behind Holly, and it gets away from Broadus. An error there. Holly's going to advance all the way to third because no one's covering. And Georgetown gets another run. It's 4-1. Another error for the Round Rock Dragons. A costly one there. As the catcher, Bartholet, threw it, but he didn't throw it all the way back. It got knocked out of the view of the third baseman, Broadus. They'll give it to the catcher. So it's an E2 that scores Kiki from third. Holly into second with a stolen base and then advances to third on that same error. Third stolen base by Georgetown. So Connor Young will step back in with a 1 ball, no strike count with 1 out. Now a runner at third base with 1 run across in the inning. Third error of the ball game. For the Round Rock Dragons. Connor Young will step back in for the left side. The infield on the grass. The 1-0 pitch to Connor. He'll square to bunt. Bunts it, but pops it foul down the first baseline. Gets away with that as no one could get to it, and 1-1 the count now. As Luke Holly was off and charging home on the safety squeeze. So a reset. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Here in the bottom of the fourth. 1 run across for Georgetown. They lead it 4-1. Back to their largest lead in the ballgame of 3 runs. Continue to work here in the bottom of the fourth. On deck, Tate Ritchie, the right fielder. Connor Young squares the bunt. Pulls it back, swinging, fouls it off, back out of play over the clamshell. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count now to Connor Young. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Luke Holly down at third base. The infield now all on the edge of the grass for the Dragons. Young back in, the 1-2 pitch. Young fouls it off down the third baseline, out of play. Continues to battle here in the bottom of the fourth against Brandon Smith. The 1-2 pitch. Connor Young swinging a miss, strike 3 on the high heater. For out number 2. 4 strikeout for Smith, 5th of the ball game for Eagle hitters. And that'll bring up Tate Ritchie, who's 0 for 1 of the ball game. Walked and scored a run in the first, grounded out to short in the second. Steps in here with 2 outs and a runner at third base. Brandon Smith stays in the stretch, first base side of the rubber. And now comes set, the first pitch to Tate Ritchie. Outside for ball 1. 1-0 the count to the senior right fielder, Tate Ritchie. Smith comes set, the 1-0 pitch. Sails high for ball 2. 2-0 the count. Nice crowd filing in here at Georgetown's Eagle Field. Good turnout from the Round Rock Dragon fans just down the road. Good spray of blue in the crowd. Richie lines one down the first baseline, but it curls into foul territory. So the count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike. Tell you what, come to a Georgetown baseball game, you'll find the best collection of Georgetown Eagle gear anywhere in the country. Some of the best looking golf shirts and blouses sported here by the fans. The 2-1 pitch to Richie. He'll take time here as Brandon Smith takes his time on the mound. So we'll all reset, come back to play. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runner at third base in Luke Holly. Here in the bottom of the 4th. The 2-1 pitch. Down low for ball 3. 3-1 now the count to Tate Ritchie. Hayden Grooms on deck for Georgetown. Hayden is snuck down here into the corner, warming up. A lot of times they'll move him back up the baseline. The 3-1 pitch. High for ball 4. Throw back down behind Luke Holly, but he's back in safely. So now runners at the corners. With 2 outs, and that'll bring up Hayden Grooms, who's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Second time for Tate Ritchie to walk in the ball game. First walk issued by Smith. Both walks in the ball game of Eagle hitters have been Tate Ritchie back in the 1st and now in the 4th. Hayden Grooms reached on an error and scored a run in the 1st, singled and left stranded in the 3rd. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. As he steps in here with runners on the corners. Brada stays up on the edge of the grass at third base. Ritchie being held on by Isaac Rodriguez at first. First pitch to Grooms. Nope, they'll do the yo-yo. No throws. Tate Ritchie was about 2 feet off the bag at first base. Lays back down and touches the bag without a throw. Smith will come set. First pitch high for ball 1 to Grooms. 1-0 the count. Activity back again down the first baseline in the Dragon bullpen. Smith comes set. The 1-0 pitch. Grooms hits it towards Broadus. And they'll say he caught it on the line for out number 3. So L5 to retire Grooms and the Eagles here in the bottom of the 4th. But not before Georgetown picks up 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 runners left on base. After 4 complete innings, Georgetown leads it 4-1 over the Round Rock Dragons. Eagle baseball continues in a moment here on the SHN Sports Network. back to action we go. A call to the bullpen for your Georgetown Eagles. On the mound, the senior right-handed pitcher, Chance Garcia. First pitch misses low and outside for ball one as it scoots past Braden Rogers. Garcia comes in to face off against the top of the lineup here in the top of the fifth for the Dragons. DePriest, Bartlett, and Broadus. A 1-0 pitch from Garcia. Outside for ball two. 2-0 the count. DePriest, 1 for 2 in the ball game. Struck out looking in the first. Singled in the third, but was picked off first base by Braden Curtin. A 2-0 pitch. Fly ball into center field. Luke Colley on his horse to the right. On the run back, catches it over his head about 5 steps from the wall. For out number 1. F8 in the book to retire DePriest. On a nice play there by Luke Colley. That wind has kind of shifted right to left, now kind of behind first base dugout over towards left center field to center field, the Blue Monster. And a good play there by Luke Colley, who's shading the right field side of center field. Made the long run and the beautiful catch for out number 1. Bartlett steps in. He is 1 for 2 in the ball game. First pitch on the outside corner for called strike 1. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on the breaking pitch. 0-2 the count. To the catcher, Bartlett. Singled and left stranded in the first. Popped out to Hayden Grooms in foul territory in the third inning. The 0-2 pitch. Outside corner called strike 3. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Sit him down on 3 straight pitches. The first strikeout for Chance Garcia. Second strikeout for Eagle pitching. And with 2 outs in the inning. That'll bring up the third baseman, Luke Broadus. Nope. I had it wrong. Yep, Luke Broadus. I apologize. Broadus steps in, 2 for 2 in the ball game. 2 singles, 1 in the third, 1 in the first. First pitch from Garcia, outside corner, called strike 1. Broadus reached on a single in the first, but was cut down at second base on a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play. The 0-1 pitch misses for ball 1, 1-1 to count. Singled in the third and left stranded at first base. Stands in here with a 1-1 count and 2 outs and the base is empty. Lays off the breaking pitch down to the turf. Ball 2, 2-1 the count now. Garcia works from the first base side of the river in the windup. The 2-1 pitch. Ground ball hit out to short. Kiki charges, fields it, throws to first in time, and the Dragons go in order here in the top of the fifth. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on after 4.5. 4-1, Georgetown leads it over Round Rock. Eagle baseball will continue here on Military Appreciation Day in just a moment. It's casino night at Berry Creek Country Club tonight. The 16 Mile Angels host a casino night, a special fundraiser to support Georgetown Eagle baseball boosters and the Georgetown Eagle baseball team here at Georgetown High School. And a casino night is one of the best activities of the year to enjoy with a 16 Mile Angels held at Berry Creek Country Club tonight from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. You can scan the QR code you see on the screen there and get your tickets and head out tonight to join us for casino night. Special guest appearance. Some great, great raffle prizes. I saw pictures today of 2 custom baseball gloves that are unbelievably crafted and produced. They will be up for auction tonight, or raffle tonight on the silent auction. And so come out and join us. It's a beautiful night. You come out, and the dress is open. It's your best Las Vegas casino night wear. I told him, be careful. I'll show up in shorts and a hoodie with a baseball hat and ready to sit down at a table and take some money. But a fun night to raise money for Georgetown Eagles baseball here at Georgetown High School. So join us tonight at Berry Creek Country Club. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. And now on the mound, the call to the bullpen for the Round Rock Dragons will be number 15. And I'm going to have to go ask for the name again from the family. It's going to be a junior left-hander, number 15, Brooks Mikulinchek. And so we'll look at quickly across the way. Make sure the defense all stays the same. So defensively, the Dragons stay the same. It's just the junior lefty on the mound. His first inning of work, first pitch, swinging. Fluid drives it into center field. And Goddard doesn't have to take about 2 steps to snag that one for out number 1.
Now batting, number 20.
L8 in the book to retire Fluid on the first pitch of the inning. And in steps, number 24, Cooper Thomas. He's 1 for 2 of the ball game. Singled in the first, stole third. Then struck out swinging in the 3rd inning. Faces the lefty here. The first pitch to Cooper. He's in there for a called strike 1 on the top part of the zone. Brooks comes set. The 0-1 pitch. Fouled off down the first baseline, out of play. 0-2 quickly to Cooper Thomas. Brooks comes set, the 0-2 pitch. Thomas takes it up and away for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Georgetown the 4-1 lead. Brooks comes set, the 1-2 pitch. Up and away, ball 2. Evens out the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Cooper Thomas, the sophomore left fielder. Bats here in the bottom of the 5th. Hitting in the 5 slot today. The 2-2 pitch. Thomas fouls it back out of play. Stays alive in the at-bat. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 pitch. Chases it low. Down and away from the catcher, Barthollet. He'll throw down to first base in time to retire Cooper Thomas. Strikeout and a drop third strike. 2-3 on the putout.
Now batting, number 14.
So with 2 outs in the inning, that'll bring up Braden Rogers, the catcher. He's 0 for 1 of the ball game. Was hit by a pitch in the first inning. Grounded out to third in the 3rd inning. First strikeout recorded by Brooks. Rogers fouls the first pitch back to the screen for strike 1. 0-1 the count. In 2 innings of relief, Brandon Smith threw 39 pitches, gave up 1 run on 2 hits, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 wild pitch. The 0-1 pitch misses low and away for ball 1. 1-1 the count to Braden Rogers, the Georgetown catcher, with Colton Crutchfield on deck. 1-1 pitch fouled off, back to the screen. 1-2 the count now. Looks like there's a pinch hitter on deck for Georgetown. Ryan Castilleja in the on-deck circle to pinch hit. The 1-2 pitch fouled off. Rogers stays alive. 1-2 the count with 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the 5th, bases empty. Georgetown 3 runs in the first, 1 in the 4th. Leads at 4-1. Round Rock answered with 1 in the top of the 2nd. The 1-2 pitch to Rogers. Braden off the fist, back out of play. 1-2. Reset, go again. The 1-2 pitch to Rogers. Ground ball hit into left field, a base hit. Past the diving Broadus, and a 2-out base hit as a base runner aboard for Georgetown. 5th hit of the ball game for Georgetown. There will be a courtesy runner here.
Now batting for the Eagles.
So a pinch hitter here
Ryan Castilleja.
for the Georgetown Eagles in the number 7 slot. It'll be Ryan Castilleja. Pinch hitting in the DH role here in the bottom of the 5th. Tillman Brown on to courtesy run for the catcher Rogers with 2 outs. Brooks, the lefty. Pitch home. Castilleja takes it outside for ball 1. Castilleja, the senior, committed to Wiley College to continue his education and baseball playing days. Steps in from the right side. Also a starter on the Georgetown football team at center. Throw to first base, and it gets away. It's going to be an error on the pitcher on the wild throw. Tillman Brown will scoot into second base. So now a runner in scoring position. E1. That will be the fourth error of the ball game on the Round Rock Dragons. So now a runner in scoring position as Tillman Brown moves up to second on that errant throw by the pitcher Brooks. 1-0 the count to Castilleja. The 1-0 pitch. Way and up for ball two. 2-0 to Castilleja. Castilleja, the starting center on the football team this past year. Now here on the baseball team, will continue to Wiley College, an NAIA school, to play baseball. Castilleja back in from the right side. Brooks comes set in the stretch. The 2-0 pitch. Castilleja sends a fly ball into shallow right field. Kivett comes on, makes the catch for out number 3. And the 5th inning has come to a close. No runs on 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 runner left on base. After 5 complete, Georgetown 4. Round Rock 1. Eagle baseball continues in a moment. Cooper Thomas now on the mound for the Eagles. As he will come on to pitch and face against the 4, 5, and 6 hitters here in the top of the 6th. Have to get some work done on the communication system between Coach Payne and the catcher Braden Rogers. So the infield stays the same for Georgetown. Grooms at third, Kiki at short, Connor Young at second, and David Fluid at first base. Cooper Thomas comes out of left field, goes to the mound to pitch for Georgetown. Tate Ritchie moves from right field to left field, and Justin Soto will enter the ballgame defensively for Georgetown into right field. And Luke Holly stays in center field for the Eagles. So Cooper Thomas, the sophomore right-hander, moves to the mound for the first time. Chance Garcia in his inning of work. Threw 10 pitches, struck out 1. First pitch from Cooper Thomas hits Goddard. So the leadoff man aboard here in the top of the 6th for the Round Rock Dragons. Goddard was 0 for 2 in the ballgame coming into that at-bat. First batter hit by a pitch by Georgetown pitching today. Cooper Thomas now will face pinch hitter here for the Dragons. Number 21 will step in. Trahan Godby. Thomas from the stretch. The first pitch to Godby. Gets away from Braden Rogers. A wild pitch there. Allows Goddard to scoot up into scoring position at second base. 1-0 the count to Godby. Godby pinch hitting in the number 5 slot for Isaac Rodriguez. A 1-0 pitch on the outside corner for a called strike one. 1-1 the count to Godby. Goddard leads off second. Thomas works out of the stretch with the runner on. From the first base side of the rubber. Look at second base, the 1-1 pitch. Breaking pitch, but down in the turf, gets away from Braden Rogers. So Goddard will cruise into third base. 1-2 the count. Godby swung at it. Second wild pitch. Allows Goddard to scoot up into scoring position at third base, just 90 feet away with no outs here in the top of the 6th inning. The Dragons trail by 3. Oppel on deck for the Dragons. Here in the top of the 6th. Godby ready to go. Cooper Thomas, the 1-2 pitch. Just high for ball 2. 2-2 the count. So Chance Garcia threw 1 inning. In that inning, 10 pitches, struck out 1. Faced the 3 batters. Now Cooper Thomas takes over here in the 6th. The 2-2 pitch. Up and over the head of Godby as he ducks out of the way. Full count now to the pinch hitter. Godby in the number 5 slot for the Dragons, hitting for Isaac Rodriguez. Thomas comes set in the stretch. The payoff pitch. Breaking pitch flared out towards short. Kiki can't get to it. And it flies over into left center field for a RBI base hit by Godby. Scores the second run of the ball game for the Round Rock Dragons. Cuts the lead back to 2 for Georgetown, 4-2. First hit allowed by Thomas. So the hit batter comes in to score on that floater just over the outstretched glove of Jack Kiki into left center field. In steps Jack Oppel. He is 1 for 2 in the ball game. Singled and a run scored in the second. Reached on a fielder's choice. Back in the 4th. First pitch swinging, high fly ball, right field. Soto, a long run, but the ball's going to hang up in the wind. Soto will make the catch and get it in. So Godby will return to first base. A 1 out in the inning as Oppel flies out. F9 in the book for out number 1. That'll bring up number 13, the second baseman, J.P. Casman. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Flew out to left in the second inning. Doubled and left stranded in the 4th. Looks like there's going to be a pinch runner here for Godby at first base. It'll be number 24 coming out to run. That's Teague Watkins, 6'4", 190-pound junior. So Godby has been used up here in the pinch hit and it now being pinch run for. So he'll be out of the ball game as J.P. Casman steps in. With 1 out here in the top of the 6th. 1 run across for the Dragons. The runner at first base. Fluid will hold on. The runner, Watkins at first base. First pitch here, low and outside for ball 1. 1-0 to J.P. Casman. Luke Rodriguez on deck for the Dragons here in the top of the 6th. No pitch outside, ball 2. 2-0 the count. J.P. Casman, second baseman. Thomas comes set. The 2-0 pitch. Line drive out into right center field. Luke Hawley's going to close on it, but can't get to it. Soto picks it up and throws it in, but it's going to be another base hit for the Dragons. As that fell in between Right fielder and center fielders for a base hit. Second hit allowed by Cooper Thomas, 10th of the ball game for the Dragons. That'll bring up Luke Rodriguez, the runners on first and second. Rodriguez 1 for 2 in the ball game. RBI single in the second, was left stranded. Reached on a fielder choice and left stranded in the fourth. Cooper Thomas comes set, look at second base. The first pitch to Luke Rodriguez will come after this check at second base. Watkins dives back in without the throw. Thomas comes set. The first pitch to Rodriguez. The breaking pitch just misses for ball one. 1-0 the count. Jace Kivett, the right fielder, on deck for the Dragons. Here in the top of the sixth. One out, runners at first and second, one run across. The 1-0 pitch to Rodriguez. Outside corner called strike one. 1-1 the count. Thomas comes set. Look at second base. The 1-1 pitch. Inside for ball two. 2-1 the count. Braden Rogers out to talk to his pitcher, Cooper Thomas. Casino night tonight, Berry Creek Country Club, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Come join us live at Berry Creek Country Club for Casino night, hosted by the 16 Mile Angels, as they support Georgetown Eagle Baseball and the Georgetown Eagle Baseball Booster Club. The bright lights out on the scoreboard, taken care of. A donation from the 16 Mile Angels. They assisted the 22 championship rings to be purchased to help the players. 2-1 pitch, low and outside for ball three. They'll cover player costs on those part of the rings for the championship rings. Doing great things to support Georgetown Eagle Baseball. The Georgetown Eagle Baseball Booster Club come out 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. tonight. Have fun with us out there for poker night. The 3-1 pitch to Luke Rodriguez. Not before. Rodriguez will take a timeout, step out of the box. We'll all reset. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Here in the top of the sixth, runners on first and second. 1 run across in the inning. It's a 4-2 score for Georgetown. Throw to first base, almost had the pickoff there. Behind Casman at first base. Thomas will get the sign, comes set in the stretch. Throw to second base. It's down on the bag and may have got Watkins, but Kiki had to go up and get it, bring down the tag, not in time. 3 balls, 1 strike, the count to Rodriguez with 1 out here in the top of the sixth. Dragons trying to get back into this one. Trailing 3 coming into the inning. We got 1 across. We've got it to a 4-2 ball game. Thomas looks in and gets the sign. Comes set in the stretch. Another throw to second base. Just back in under the tag is Watkins. Teague Watkins is pinch running for the pinch hitter. Godby. Trey got on a base hit. That scored Goddard from third base. Look at second. The 3-1 pitch. Misses for ball 4. And that'll load the bases with 1 out.
Now batting number 9, Jace Kivett.
So the first walk issued by Cooper Thomas. Now we'll have a pinch runner for Rodriguez. Brooks Miklinchek was on pitching the last inning. He'll come in to pinch run for Luke Rodriguez. So Miklinchek will remove Rodriguez from the game as a pinch runner. And then number 11, Bryce Becker, will come on to courtesy run for the pitcher, Miklinchek. So loading the bases with speed, trying to push as many runs across as they can, trailing by 2. Here in the top of the 6th. Jace Kivett, the number 9 hitter, steps in. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. Watkins, a courtesy runner, or pinch runner. So now Kivett will not step into the box. It'll be number 2 pinch hitting. It's going to be Jacob Gaiman, the 5'9", 170-pound senior.
Pinch hitting number 2, Jacob Gaiman.
Well, if your scorebook's messed up at home, don't worry. It's messed up here, too. Coach John Carter has now put in about 38 subs on a 24-person roster here all in the 6th inning. So number 2, Jacob Gaiman, will pinch hit for the number 9 hitter, Kivett. Here in the top of the 6th with the bases loaded and 1 out. Watkins down at 3rd, Kasman at 2nd. Becker, the courtesy runner, down at first base. Thomas will come set in the stretch. Throw to third base. Gaiman back in from the right side. Cooper Thomas comes set in the stretch. The first pitch. Check swing, foul ball over towards the first base dugout. 0-1 the count. To number 2, Jacob Gaiman, the pinch hitter, hitting in the 9 slot here. For the Dragons in the top of the 6th. 1 run across, bases loaded with 1 out. The 0-1 pitch. Down to the turf. Nice block by Braden Rogers. Count evens out at 1 ball and 1 strike. On deck, the top of the lineup. And Hudson DePriest for the Dragons. Eagles would love a double play ground ball here to get out of a bases loaded jam. The 1-1 pitch. Just misses on the breaking pitch for ball 2. Blew it up on the grass, on the edge of the grass at first base. Grome's about to step off the grass at 3rd. The 2-1 pitch. Inside, ball 3. 3-1 the count now. The base is loaded, 1 out here in the top of the 6th. Watkins off 3rd. Kasman off 2nd. Becker off 1st. Gaiman back in as Cooper Thomas comes set. The 3-1 pitch. Misses low and away. Ball 4. Walks in a run. 4-3 now your score. Second walk issued by Thomas will score Watkins. From third base. Kasman to 3rd. Becker to 2nd. And Gaiman draws the RBI walk. Back to the top of the lineup we go, and Hudson DePriest. And to the bullpen we go. Here at Georgetown High School. We'll take a quick break, come back with the changes. Georgetown Eagle Baseball continues in a moment here on the SHN Sports Network. Eagle Field will set the field for you as Hudson DePriest, the leadoff man, will come up. With the bases loaded and 1 out, 2 runs across here in the inning for the Dragons. It's a 4-3 ball game. Casman down at third. Becker, the courtesy runner, down at second. And Jacob Gaiman down at first. Hudson DePriest steps in. He's 1 for 3 in the ball game. As Tillman Brown comes on for Georgetown from the stretch. The first pitch from Tillman. He'll throw to third base. Cooper Thomas goes back to left field. Tate Ritchie moves back to right field, and Justin Soto comes out defensively for the Eagles. The infield remains the same. Tillman Brown, the junior right-hander, takes the mound here. First pitch to Hudson DePriest. In there for a called strike. In the third of an inning plus, Cooper Thomas threw 21 pitches, allowed 2 runs, 2 hits, walked 2, hit 1, and 2 wild pitches. Is responsible for all 3 runners on base, so we can't close the book just yet on Cooper Thomas. Tillman Brown now comes in to work against Hudson DePriest. 1 out. The 0-1 pitch just misses low for ball 1. 1-1 to count. DePriest struck out looking in the first, singled, and then was picked off in the third. Flew out to center field on a shot to the deepest part of the park. Back in the 5th inning. Stands in here from the right side with bases loaded and 1 out. A 1-1 count. The pitch. Breaking pitch. Outside corner called. Strike 2. 1-2 the count now to Hudson DePriest with Bartholette, the catcher, on deck for the Dragons. Flewitt on the edge of the grass at first base. Grooms steps in about even with the grass at third base. The 1-2 pitch. Down in the turf, blocked by Rogers. 2-2 now the count. Trying to get DePriest to chase there. Senior leadoff hitter for the Dragons holds off and now has a 2-2 count. With 1 out here in the top of the 6th. The Dragons, 2 runs across, have cut it to a 1-run ball game. 4-3. Georgetown leads it here in the top of the 6th. The Dragons threatening with the bases loaded and 1 out. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. A beautiful strikeout there by Tillman Brown for out number 2. And in steps Bartholette, the catcher. He's 1 for 3 in the ball game. Bartholette singled and left stranded in the first. Popped out to third baseman Grooms back in the third. Struck out looking in the 5th. First pitch from Tillman Brown outside. Gets away from Rogers. Here comes the runner from third. The throw to Brown. He'll tag. Boom! What a play. Braden Rogers gets back. Bartholette frustrated with the bat being taken out of his hands by Casman, trying to score on the wild pitch. But he is thrown out at home. The Dragons leave 2 stranded here in the top of the 6th. They score 2 on 2 hits, no errors. 2 runners left on after 5.5. 4-3, Georgetown leads it by 1. Eagle base. King's Pest Control, serving Williamson County's pest control needs for over 40 years. Family and locally owned since 1982. Safe and reliable pest control services for your home or business. Call them at 512-930-PEST, 512-930-7378, or visit them at www.kingspest.com. It's King's Pest Control, proud sponsors of Georgetown Eagle Baseball and the First Responder Broadcasting Team. And we go back to action here in the bottom of the sixth. Brooks back on the mound. He'll face off against the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for the Georgetown Eagles. Jack Kiki, Luke Colley, and Connor Young due up here in the bottom of the sixth. In his first inning of work, Brooks allowed 1 hit, struck out 1. Through 16 pitches. Works here in his second inning of relief. The third pitcher of the day for the Dragons. Kiki steps in. 0 for 2 in the ballgame. The first pitch from Brooks. Fouled off back to the screen. 0-1 to count to Jack Kiki. Kiki, the junior shortstop, flew out to right in the first, struck out, but reached on a drop third strike in the fourth inning. Takes the 0-1 pitch, low for ball 1. 1-1 to count. Luke Colley on deck. Connor Young in the hole for the Eagles. The 1-1 pitch from Brooks. Fly ball sent into right field. Kivett will charge in and make the catch for out number 1. F9 of the book to retire Jack Kiki. That'll bring up the senior center fielder, Luke Colley. 1 for 2 in the ball game. Lined out to right field back in the second inning. Reached on a bunt single in the fourth. Stole second, advanced to third. On a throwing error by the catcher. It was left stranded there. First pitch to Luke. Up and away for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to Luke Colley. 1 out here in the inning. The 1-0 pitch from Brooks. Squares the bunt. Bunts it down the third baseline. The throw to first base just in time to get Luke Colley. Nice play by the catcher, Bartlett. The ball checked up. He grabbed it barehanded and threw it to first just in time. 2-3 on the putout to retire Holly for the second out of the inning. And back to the top of the lineup we go. Connor Young, the second baseman, will step in. 0 for 3 in the ball game. Flew out to left in the first, grounded out to second in the to first base in the second inning, and struck out back in the fourth inning. First pitch misses for ball 1. 2 outs here in the bottom of the sixth. 4-3 your score. Georgetown leads by 1. The lefty Brooks. 1-0 pitch. Connor Young flares it into shallow right center field for a 2-out base hit. So a 2-out base runner here for Georgetown at the bottom of the sixth. The second had a hit allowed by Brooks. That'll be the 6th hit of the ball game for the Georgetown Eagles. And that'll bring up Tate Ritchie, the right fielder. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Walked and scored a run in the first, grounded out to short in the second. Walked and left stranded in the fourth. So Ritchie will step in here from the right side with 1 out and a runner at first, and Connor Young being held on by Rodriguez. First pitch misses low and away for ball 1. The first baseman at first is actually Jake Staritz on defensively. Holding on Connor Young. The 1-0 pitch to Ritchie. Flared down the right field line. It's going to be trouble, and it will be caught. What a play there by J.P. Kasman. The second baseman makes the catch over his shoulder for out number 3, and the Eagles are retired here in the bottom of the sixth. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. After 6 complete, Georgetown 4, Round Rock 3. We go to the 7th inning when we come back here on Military Appreciation Day live at Eagle Field. Stay with us. Eagle Baseball continues in a moment. Back here at Eagle Field, we go to the top of the 7th. Tillman Brown on. Came on with one out in the top of the 6th. Struck out one, got the 2 outs. Kept the Dragons off the board on a beautiful ending play. Catcher to pitcher on the wild pitch. Rogers went back and got it. Pitched to Brown, covering home plate. Tagged out Casman at the plate to end the inning. So it held the Dragons to 2 runs in the inning. They trail by 1, 4-3. Pinch hitting here will be number 22. Chris Ossobrooks, the 6'1", 195-pound junior. He'll pinch hit for Bartlett, the catcher. First pitch, inside corner. Yes, missed for ball 1. Great question by Coach Vieira out of the dugout. Where was it? That was a strike all day. The 1-0 pitch from Tillman Brown. Popped up on the infield. Rogers looks, catches it right behind home plate. Good job there by Rogers. Braden got turned around, found it, and made the play in foul territory. 4 out, number 1. P2 in the book to retire Ossobrooks. That'll bring up the third baseman, Luke Broaddus. He is 2 for 3 in the ball game. Singled in the first, was cut down on a 6-4-3 double play. Singled to left stranded in the third, grounded out to short in the 5th inning. Broaddus steps in for the right side. First pitch from Tillman Brown. In there for a called strike, 0-1 the count. To Luke Broaddus with Cade Goddard on deck for the Dragons. Dragons down to their final 2 outs, trailing by 1 here in the 7th. From the windup, the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. I think Luke Broaddus was trying to tie the score right there on that swing. A big hack from the big third baseman. Base is empty with 1 out, an 0-2 count. Tillman Brown from the windup, the 0-2 pitch. Breaking pitch stays out for ball 1, 1-2 the count now. To Luke Broaddus. The 5'10", 210-pound senior third baseman for the Dragons. From the windup, the 1-2 pitch. Ground ball to third. Grooms will backhand it. Sets, fires across the diamond. Scoop by Fluid, got him! What a play! Hayden Grooms, Broaddus got down the line. But a great play there by Fluid to scoop it and get the out for 2 outs in the inning, 5-3 on the put out of Broaddus. And with 2 outs and the bases empty, in steps Cade Goddard, the center fielder. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. Grounded into an inning 6-4-3 double play in the first. Popped out to second in the third. Was hit by a pitch and scored a run in the 6th inning. First pitch inside, just inside for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Cade Goddard. Steps back in from the right side. The 1-0 pitch. Skips in for ball 2. 2-0 the count. To the number 4 hitter, the senior center fielder, Cade Goddard. The 2-0 pitch inside for ball 3. 3-0 the count to Cade Goddard with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Tillman Brown from the windup. The 3-0 pitch. That one's in there for a called strike 1. The 3-1 pitch. Just misses outside. A 2-out walk. Puts the tying run on base for the Dragons here in the 7th. First walk issued by Tillman Brown. And now another pinch hitter is number 18. Jake Starretts. 6 foot tall, 195-pound junior will bat. Tillman Brown will move to the stretch. Goddard being held on by Fluid at first. First pitch to Starretts. Ground ball to third. Grooms up with it. He'll set his feet, throw across the diamond, picked by Fluid. And the ball game is over. 5-3 on the put out of Starretts. Ends the top of the 7th, and the Georgetown Eagles win it 4-3 over the Round Rock Dragons. Here on Military Appreciation Day, we'll take a quick time out. We'll head down to the field and talk with Coach Jordan Vieira. You're listening to Eagle Baseball live here on the SHN Sports Network. We're back here live at Eagle Field. The Eagles victorious 4-3 over the Round Rock Dragons. A big win in multiple facets, Coach. 4-3 win over a big 6A team. That's 20 and now 4-1 on the season. But to get off that snide, a couple of tough losses in the week, to get back in that winning mentality. And what a job by Tillman Brown to come in and shut the door with the bases loaded there in the sixth. And then a good seventh inning to get the Eagles the win.
Yeah, we got a great start from Braden Curtin. Did a good job of putting a bunch of zeros on the board early for us. We were able to capitalize on a couple of mistakes and be able to execute offensively of some things we want to do, play good, clean defense behind it. And then, we were able to give the ball to Tillman for the last two to be able to collect those last 6 outs for us and get us out of a bases-loaded jam to be able to seal the deal at the end.
You love to be able to put different players in different positions and to see the responses. Great plays by Braden Rogers behind the plate today. That big play to pitch to Tillman for the putout at the plate to keep the run off the board. Then you get to play all over the field. Kiki, Grooms, everyone playing well defensively. How good is this field now going into a big week next week? It's off from district, but you're playing 3 tough teams, two on the road, 1 at home, for a big week to try to get this team going back in the right direction.
Yeah, we just got to get back to the things that make us successful, and that's being able to get on first base and then to execute the offensive things that we need to. We've been pitching it well enough. We've been playing clean at defense offensively, though. We just got to continue to keep grinding away, keep plugging away, and find ways on first base.
A big win, 4-3 over the Round Rock Dragons. The Eagles will be back at it Tuesday night at Dripping Springs at 7 p.m. Come support the Eagles on the road. If you can't join us on the road, how about join us on the SHN Sports Network? We'll bring you the game live at 6:45 pregame, 7 o'clock first pitch. But tonight, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., leave the kids at home. Come out, casino night at Berry Creek Country Club. Go online and look, 16 Mile Angels on Facebook page. You can get tickets there and come join us tonight. Thanks for joining us today. The Eagles win it 4-3 over the Round Rock Dragons. Have a good weekend, and remember, it doesn't cost you a dime to be kind. Have a good weekend, everybody.